Your timing is impeccable, Captain. Watch. And so our numbers continue to grow. Through the united power of the Enclave, we will reclaim what is rightfully ours. We have a full complement of troops. Dr. Kane is making strides in her research, and Senator Matthews has gotten us High Command's full backing. We have everything we need to mobilize into the Commonwealth, and plans are being drawn up as we speak. No mutants, Brotherhood of Steel, or this Institute will stand in the way of our work.
What's our next move?
Seeing as the Senator has just arrived, we're holding a briefing session. You should join us. It would be good for him to meet one of our most promising officers. I almost forgot. The technicians have repaired the last of the executive bedrooms. It's yours. I trust you'll find it has everything you need.
And with the Vertibirds here, you should know you are authorized to use them. Speak to Lieutenant Fitzpatrick to make the necessary arrangements.
Now, let's go speak to the Senator.
Landing pads are in motion. Stand clear. Repeat. Stand clear of the landing.
Institute's known for replacing people with their sins. Hope that doesn't happen to me.
Welcome. Please take a seat. Let's wait for everyone before we begin. Good evening, everyone. Is Dr. Kane not joining us?
She's currently occupied with an autopsy. I'm sure she'll join us later.
Ah, I see. Let's get started then. After speaking with the good general over the past few weeks, I'm pleased to finally make all your acquaintances. I'm sure you all have questions about myself, the state of the Enclave as a whole, and about our next steps. Now, do understand that in the interests of national security, I can only say so much. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I am Henry Matthews, Senator representing the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. I was elected by your peers to this prestigious position after the untimely death of Senator Clark at this very base. I've been sent here at the President's behest to oversee your progress and to ensure the Commonwealth is brought back into the fold. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. Who is the President? I sorta lost track after eating.
Given recent events, the President's identity is classified. It's kept on a need-to-know basis. And my good man, you most certainly do not need to know. Nothing personal, you understand?
Where is High Command?
Sheesh.
Do we still have a central headquarters?
Well, I'm pleased to inform you that one of the Joint Chiefs is actually right here with you. General Ward was recently appointed chairman.
An honor, truly.
I'm sure it is. As for the location of High Command, what I will say is we have shifted to more of a distributed structure. That being said, our largest active facility is Mount Weather. Most of the personnel I brought with me was stationed there. How about you? Lieutenant, was it? Any questions from you?
He was just promoted to captain, actually.
A far more appropriate rank from what I've heard. So, any...
Forgive the intrusion, gentlemen. I have made a troublesome discovery.
What seems to be the problem, Doctor?
This autopsy, I was certain I would find a way to identify they were a synth. However, I was mistaken. If I didn't know any better, I'd have thought this was simply a vault dweller. It was only once I began the brain biopsy that it became clear it was a synth. There was circuitry, a lot of it, embedded deep within the brain tissue. Central to it, in fact. It's the only telltale sign I could find. These Institute synths, I heard they were lifelike, but seeing one in person, it's both incredible and harrowing.
It's like I told you. There's no way of telling a synth apart from a human unless you kill it. That's why people fear the Institute.
Yes, Colonel, you made your point.
The Institute has been on our radar for a long time now. Our agents have looked into numerous Institute-related incidents in the past, but have never been able to pinpoint the Institute's location itself. With how little we know of them, they could very well be our biggest threat. I'll come back to this in a moment. Now that we have you, Dr. Kane, how has work on the FEV been going?
I've made some promising adjustments to the genetic markers it targets, but truthfully, progress is slow. We're struggling with the lab's power supply. There isn't enough to keep the FEV compound stable for more than a few seconds at a time. We can only run tests for a handful of seconds at a time, and only every few hours. Unless we have more power.
Myers, is there anything you can do about that?
Well, we could always shut down the factory, like we did last time.
That's not an option.
Agreed.
Only other option is to upgrade the reactors, which is easier said than done. Leave it with me. I'll think of something.
That's your priority now, Myers. See it done.
Good. So, to summarize our priorities, Chief Engineer Myers, get us more power. Dr. Kane, you keep working on the FEV. This comes directly from the President. Everyone else, it's about time we find a way into the Institute. We must know what we're dealing with once and for all. And I insist the Captain spearhead this mission. They look like the type that get things done. Before I forget, Captain, I brought an exceptional doctor with me. You should have your medical with him in the first instance. Make sure you're at your best and all that. Now, I'll leave you to cross the T's and dot the I's. I will be in my office should anyone need me.
A word outside, Captain?
Our equipment. Oh, welcome to my clinic. Let me just check my notes here. Ah, Captain. You must be here for your medical. No time like the present. Shall we get started?
As long as it doesn't involve petroleum jelly and rubber gloves, I'm ready.
No, not today. I'm just going to ask you a few straightforward questions, and I'd like you to answer them to the best of your ability. What age group do you fall under?
That's right.
Let me just note that down. Have you ever suffered from sustained exposure to radiation?
No trouble with radiation today, Doc.
Excellent. Just keep an eye on your Geiger counter and you'll be fine. Are you suffering from any long-term illnesses that I should be aware of?
Never been seriously sick in my life.
Wonderful. A fit and healthy soldier is the perfect role model for our troops. All that's left is for me to take a blood sample, and we'll be done. Just a moment. And we're done. Thank you for your time. Now, was there anything else I could help you with?
Gonna pass.
Come back if you need medical attention.
Excuse me, officer.
Been a heck of a ride, hasn't it, sir? Listen, to say thanks for all the hard work, General Ward has authorized a Vertibird to be on standby for you if you ever need transport.
I appreciate that.
It's the least we can do. Take a look at the Vertibirds on landing pads. When you see one you like, let me know. I'll make sure it's on call for you.
Excuse me, officer.
So, which Vertibird will it be?
What are my options?
Any of the 5 out on the landing pads.
That one.
Okay, great. I'll make sure that Vertibird's ready whenever you need it. Here, you can use these flares to call it in. If you run out, you'll be able to get more from Barrett. Kick some ass out there.